How's it? This is FudgeP, and today I brought a few of my boards up in the kitchen because I want to show you how I like my footstraps set up. This video has been inspired by a video by Lucky White, which is one of the YouTube foilers that I follow. He's into wingfoil racing, and he shows how he likes his footstraps. Of course, it's super technical, that's why I follow him, and I'll link that video in the description. I don't do that discipline, but I do some other disciplines, and I have radically different preferences. So here's a video that I want to share because in the last 10 years, that's as long as I foiled, maybe 11, I've been experimenting with placing footstrap all over the deck, and I learned a lot. And when I say all over the deck, I mean it. Because I never really stuck to the production holes inserts. I am the worldwide best customer of this product, made by NSI. These are stick-on inserts, 3M tape. You peel it off, and if you previously cut the pad of your board and clean it up so that you see the fiberglass, and then you can stick on it and they stay on pretty nicely. Of course, I did have cases in which the thing come off. I have an anecdote about that actually, but it's not a big deal. You stick it back, when you go back home, you stick it back on with epoxy resin, and then it's even more permanent. You can always remove it even after the epoxy resin if you don't like the position. Move them ½ centimeter. Sometimes I took it off, moved ½ centimeter to see which one felt better. So I don't know anyone who does that, so I claim that I have a lot of experience, because a production board, even a custom one, you can't really ask the shaper, hey, can you put inserts all over the deck so that I understand the difference? Nobody does that. So this is the way to do it. If you use them already, good job. If not, I hope by the end of the video I'll convince you that it might be a good idea to start experimenting. Of course, it depends on the discipline that you do. Let's say you do wingfoil racing, or actually just wingfoil free riding, back and forth, and you switch your feet every time, and you like to use footstraps. There's no question. In that case, you gotta use that dreadful, for me it's absolutely dreadful, configuration of the V-strap at the front. But if you're not, if you're mostly web riding, if you're mostly downwinding, and if you're mostly having your strong foot at the front for most of the time, then don't use the offset position of the V strap, because by placing them in a different place, you're gonna gain so much performance. Now let me try to convince you about what I just said, and I'm gonna use the words of Kane the Wild in this genetic foiling podcast episode number 136. He's been asked what's the most efficient way of pumping. Let's see what he says.
If your feet aren't on the center line, you're wasting energy pushing to one side or the other.
Both feet on the center line?
Yeah.
Because that's definitely something that I would have to adapt, because I ride on the wave with a very set stance.
And
so you're saying immediately, right, shift it more central when pumping.
I would say so, yeah. It's more efficient.
More efficient. Thank you, Kane. The Dock Star people that pump around, they know this very well. When they land, they try to have their feet exactly in the middle, because otherwise, if your feet are offset, the board does this in the pumping. But what makes the weight be in the middle? Yeah, let's say this is the center line that goes through that. Sorry, center line here. If I put the footstrap completely symmetrical to that, I still, my toe side carbs are still not as good as the backside carb, because the nature of the human foot. I mean, if this is the strap, these are my toes, and this is the rest of the foot, you can see that the lever that you have when you push on your toes is only half the length of the lever that you have when you push on your heel. That's why I could not ever be happy with the toe side turns, and I started moving these two inserts more and more and more towards the toe side rail, let's say, and I found my sweet spot at 3/4 inches, not much, 3/4 of an inch offset compared to perfectly symmetrical. Again, is this going to be perfect for you? I have no idea, but experiment. I have boards in which I stuck this on and off like 15 times, sometimes like ½ centimeter up, down, left, right, and that's why I want to share all the work that I did. That worked for me. Quick introduction to the boards. This is subfoiling on breaking waves with a foil drive. This is my biggest wing foil board, so let's say light wind wing foiling, both of waves and downwinder. And this is foil drive assisted subfoiling downwinders. Only front strap, only front strap. The only discipline in which I still retain a back strap, I hope there's enough light, is subfoiling on waves. It is also an NSI product. It's a 13 inches long foot strap that allows me to move the foot inside, because when I pump, my back foot will be all the way at the front of the foot strap, and when the harder I want to carve, the tighter I want to carve, the more I'm going to move it towards the back of the strap, and still I have leverage here. So that's why I still like to have a back strap. I wouldn't like it if it was just in the carving position, because then when you're pumping, you definitely want to have your stance more narrow. In order to have a balanced leverage between toe side and back side cutbacks, if this is the stringer line, this is 2 inches offset on the toe side. This is how I like it after 10 years of experimenting. Again, don't take my words for granted. You do experiment with your own. Instead, for all the other disciplines, I decided to remove it, just easier, and I get used to that. I do have a little surfing back foot pad on my wing foil here. It's nice because it's got a little arch, a little bump where to put the arch on my foot, so it feels good. So what do the foot strips do? Why I like them so much that I really never foil without foot strips? I can, but it's not my favorite, because they make you feel connected to the board. You make you one piece with the board and you have so much more control. I have an anecdote. Many years ago, I wasn't particularly experienced, maybe I shouldn't been out there, but I was doing a downwinder with a hell lot of wind, 40 to 50 miles per hour, with a friend. And at one point, the front straps, as I said, these can come off. It did happen. And so I couldn't use the front strap anymore. And I still had the back strap. And I thought it was going to be super sketchy not to only have the back foot in the strap in those crazy conditions. So I took my screwdriver. I always have the tools that I need on the board with me when I foil. I undid the back strap, moved it to the side, and tried to take off and finish the run in those wild conditions with no foot straps at all. I could not do that. I got seriously scared because I said, oh, this is crazy. How am I going to get to the beach? There's no way I can paddle in huge waves. Let me try to put the back foot strap back on, and I couldn't believe that just with the back foot in the strap and nothing in the front, I had enough control that I could finish the run. So I already knew that foot straps give you control, but that was an eye-opener. Like, oh my God, they give you a lot of control. You can try yourself. Put foot straps, put in the right place, and then go and switch on and off and see how much control you have with the foot straps. It's personal preference. You don't have to use foot straps if you sketched out about injuries. I'm going to tell you that 10 years of foiling, I did not get one injury out of foot straps. 40 years of windsurfing, I broke my foot because of foot strips, yes, but that's way more hard impact with the lip of the wave on a big wave, so you can't really compare. My feet usually come out immediately in a fall. Even on this setup, let's say I'm doing wing foil, foil drive assisted downwinder high speed. I use some really small foils because I have a foil drive and I've done hundreds of runs. Let's say I overfoil, then the nose of the board will slam down. You would think my foot gets stuck there. Never. It just automatically, I think in the brain, as soon as I feel that, I pull it out and it comes out. An extra tip for the wing foiler who don't switch their feet. So, Sometimes I do long upwind. If I need to do a long upwinder, yes, I go out, goofy because I'm goofy, and the wind in Maui is from the right, jibe, and switch my feet because there's going to be a long reach, several minutes before I get to jibe again. In that case, I switch my feet and I put my left foot forward next to the footstrap. Not ideal, I give you that. But again, I do very little of this, and it's totally fine. Resting the foot against the strap gives you an idea to where my front foot is. I don't have to look down, so it's pretty good actually. It's a kind of equivalent of not having straps at all. My back foot will definitely compensate and stay on this side a little more. So when it's necessary or I don't have other option, I do a little bit of offset stance. Instead, when it's down to wave riding, then again, wind from the right, I go out goofy, I jibe on the wave, and I want to be riding goofy on the wave. So, because I'm not as good riding wave on the left foot forward. So let's say I now need to go upwind a little bit because it was a long wave. It would be nice, instead of just doing this all the time, to have some release, and that's why I have a harness with 2 hooks. They're made by NSI, once again. I freaking love their products. They are thick enough that they stand straight. Instead, I've seen some that they're so thin they go sideways. I think it's the kind one. I don't know how you hook in on a hook lens like this. But they're thin enough, instead of having a plate behind it, that if you have to emergency lay down and paddle because you're going on the rocks or something, without even have to think about it much, you lay down, the thing goes on the side, it doesn't poke through the deck of your board. So these are really good. They have 2 different lengths also. I like the longer one on this side. Back to what I do. So I went out, I jabbed, and coming back in, I hook in the side hook, this guy. And already by hooking in the side hook, I release a lot of tension out of my body. But this is nothing compared to what's about to happen next. Because next, I'm going to let go with the backhand and grab the front handle. And now, I don't know if you notice, look at my back. It goes from super twisted to completely straight. And at this point, I'm facing the wind, I'm going upwind like this. It takes a little while to get used. I don't understand why more people don't do that. 100% of the kiters ride their bar like this when they're going toe side. None of the wingfoilers. I told many people, there's one lady in Maui so far that is doing it, and I'm very proud of her. So if you have this need also that you don't like switching, but you would like to relieve your back a little bit, hook in the side hook and move this and learn how to ride like this. See you guys. I hope you like it.